Aaron Jeffery, thanks a lot for being here, man. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. So, I mean, I feel like we can start here. I feel like this is a good place to start. So, when and why did you start training MMA?
That I don't really have like a definitive reason why I started. I was watching UFC growing up. I have an older brother who was watching fights, and I think he had like some UFC DVDs at home that I used to watch. And I just found a small little gym in the town that I'm from. They had like cardio kickboxing and jujitsu. So I started there, and then I moved away for university, and there was another gym. I was in like a bigger city, and there was some amateur fighters and some pro fighters. And I started training with those guys and thought it was cool. And the coach asked me if I wanted to fight, and I said yes. And just kind of got carried away with it, I guess, man. I never expected to do it as a career or even fight professionally. And yeah, like I said, I kind of just got carried away with it.
Really? Okay, so the first time you started, you didn't have ambitions of going professional in the beginning.
Nope, not at all.
When did that switch happen, and why did that switch happen?
Um, I don't know. It's hard to say, man, because it's all like it's
Gradually?
like exactly gradually. I was gonna say like inch by inch, right? It's not like I join a gym and I'm talking about going pro right away. It's like first I have my first jujitsu tournament, and then win a few medals, and then maybe I have a kickboxing fight and I have a couple kickboxing fights, and then some amateur MMA fights, and then I've got like 9 amateur fights. So they asked me if I want to go pro, and then I have a couple pro fights. And this whole time I'm like in school and working jobs and stuff too, right? Like I'm living a very normal life of like a student. But yeah, like it happened so gradually. And then eventually it was when I got on Contender series, I decided like maybe I can do this full time. So I quit my job and like committed full time to fighting. But I don't think there was ever like really one moment where I thought this is going to be my career. Yeah, again, it was gradual.
Yeah, did you have a big passion for it in the beginning? Because if you entered Contender Series, you were probably really good, right?
Yeah, I loved it always. Like I really liked watching UFC. I was always a huge fan growing up. Um, I loved training. I liked competing in jiu-jitsu tournaments and the kickboxing fights and everything. I love the whole thing. So yeah, I was passionate about it the whole way through.
Yeah. So when you were younger, like what were your goals, ambitions in the beginning before MMA? Was it like maybe nutritionist? I know you're very big into that.
Yeah, I studied medical sciences in school. That was my undergrad degree, and I thought I was going to go to more school. I was like looking into master's programs and starting to apply and stuff. I wouldn't say I had like a set career path that I had in mind, but probably something in like the medical like health profession, something like that.
Okay, so you knew in general what like inspired you and what motivated you, but you weren't specifically, didn't know exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So when you wanted to go pro, how did your parents react?
My mom has been a huge fan, very supportive the whole time. Um, yeah, she's been to probably almost all my fights. Like out of 30 fights that I've had, professional and amateur, she's probably been to like 20 or 23 of them. So yeah, she's been great the whole time. She's come to a bunch of my jiu-jitsu tournaments like right at the beginning. Yeah, she's loved it. It stresses her out a lot, but
I
she
imagine.
loves it. Yeah.
She doesn't want to see you
Yeah,
get knocked out or whatever.
exactly.
So what age did you first hop in the cage?
First amateur fight, I think I was 20 years old, maybe.
Okay, really? Okay.
Hmm.
And then pro, what age would you say?
I wasn't amateur for that long. I had like 9 amateur fights. It was probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. So I was like 22 or 23, I think, when I went pro.
Okay, okay, yeah. And is that like a normal age range you would say to go pro?
Um, yeah, I think so. I don't, it's kind of all over the place a little bit. I mean, there's guys in the UFC now who are like 20, 23, right? The
Hmm.
sport's changed a lot. Um, yeah, I would say that's probably pretty average for someone going pro.
That's did you practice any other sports when you were younger?
I played soccer from like
Nice.
I don't know, age 6 until age 13, and that was it.
Were you a big soccer fan?
No, not
No, not
really.
really, because I'm a huge soccer
No.
fan. So I thought like
Oh
maybe I
yeah.
can ask some big questions about Ronaldo and Messi and
Oh my
whatever.
God, man, I know nothing about it. I played the FIFA games on like PlayStation 2, but
Yeah,
no, other than that, I don't know anything about the sport.
those games were bomb, man.
Yeah.
So what lesson would you say was the biggest lesson you learned in your amateur days regarding fighting?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think just train hard, man. That's always like one thing that I've like has stuck with me about this sport from all the gyms I've been to, from all the guys that I've trained with. Like I've traveled the world, I've done this a lot. Typically, and I won't say this is like 100% of the time, but very often it's the guys who train the hardest, they're in the gym the most, they're the most dedicated. Those are the guys who tend to do best in the sport. Obviously, it makes sense, right?
Of course, just like I feel like any other sport. Of course, you have like let's say soccer, you have freaks of nature like Messi.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you
Mm-hmm.
have a Ronaldo who's a fucking animal when it comes with
Mm-hmm.
discipline, hard work, you're gonna achieve crazy things. You know how they say,
Mm-hmm.
um, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't hard work, right? So of
Mm-hmm.
course that's always gonna be a big thing.
Any profession, man. I think like you want to be a good doctor, you want to be a good lawyer, anything, you got to like commit yourself to it full time. And like if you want to be the best in the world, you got to work harder than anybody else.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Whatever you put your mind to, you have to because there's always gonna be big competition, especially in fields where competition is really important. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of emphasis, of course, if you don't train hard, someone else will be training hard.
Exactly.
Yeah. So would you say so when you started off, did you immediately start off training like an animal, or was it when you became professional, like, okay, let me take it up a notch, get more classes in and whatever?
I think I was pretty consistent from the beginning. Maybe like when I first started, I was in university. It was my first year university. I was like partying and drinking and stuff, and
Yeah, okay.
I was busy with classes and whatever, but I was in the gym every week, probably 3 or 4 days a week. So I was like pretty consistent. And then I think, yeah, over time, I kind of like continued to ramp it up.
So when you switched to professional, I believe you got even more training sessions in and just got more professional.
Hmm. Yeah, I think so.
So if you could describe your amateur career, how would you describe it?
It was a good amateur career. I had 9 fights, which I think is like a pretty good amount. I know a lot of guys now only have like a couple fights, 2 or 3 fights, and then they go pro right away. I think it's good to have more fights, man. I think like you need to like boxers they have like sometimes hundreds of amateur fights before they go pro, right? um and there's guys like some of these guys in Russia have like tons of amateur fights or hundreds and hundreds of wrestling matches and boxing fights and in so much competition before going pro. And I think in North America, like a lot of guys don't have that, right? We go pro after like a couple fights and it's your professional career. Like this record stays with you forever and you're still so new to the sport and you're inexperienced and it feels new and it feels like scary. I think you need to get a lot of experience and get comfortable with being in the cage before going professional. So yeah, I had 9 amateur fights. I think it was a good amount. Um, it was good, man. I fought, the sport was different back then. I fought like in just really small shows in Ohio. Um, Maybe like, I don't know, 50, 100 people in the crowd. It was like very, low budget, I guess. There wasn't like lights and music and stuff. Like once I fought at a county fair in Ohio. I fought outside like at the fair. So
Amateur,
amateur, yeah.
really?
Hmm.
So
Yeah, things were different back then.
yeah, I imagine. So what do you think that because when you said that like there's some boxers who have like hundreds of amateur fights, immediately to my mind I thought about Vasily Lomachenko who had like maybe
Hmm.
350 amateur fights and he only lost like once and then he beat that guy and he has probably like the best amateur career of all time. That's what they consider him. So what do you
Hmm.
believe that in North America compared to let's say Eastern Europe with Dagestan, Russia, Ukraine, whatever, do you think it's a culture thing that we have less fights in amateur than we go pro, that they have more fights amateur and then they go pro later on? Why do you think that's the reason?
Yeah, probably partly a culture thing, maybe just like an opportunity thing too. Like um I know here in Ontario and I guess in Quebec too, it's hard to get fights as an amateur, right? Like there's not that many shows going on. We don't have like tournaments and stuff. Like as a boxer, you have tournaments, right? You could probably fight, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times just in a weekend in one tournament. And I feel like in MMA, you just don't really have those kinds of opportunities, at least not here where we're from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe probably it's a culture thing because if you look at Dagestan, their national sport is like wrestling. And then when you look at Canada and America, it's like American football, hockey, baseball, basketball, whatever it can be. You have like fighting, which is maybe like ninth spot with probably boxing being first or whatever. Yeah. So what was it like transitioning from amateur to professional? Was there a specific moment you're like, wow, the level of difference is so higher or something else might be?
Not really. Again, the sport was like quite a bit different. I know it's like not that long ago, but the sport's evolving so fast, right? But no, you go from like fighting for amateur belts to fighting like professional guys with like a 0-1 record or something. I feel like the level of competition is not all that different.
Okay.
Um, it just feels different. It feels cool, especially as a young guy. If I was like 22 years old and I was able to call myself a professional athlete, like a professional fighter, it just feels pretty cool as a young man to say that.
Gets more girls, right?
Yeah, for sure. Exactly, bro.
No, I imagine, man. That like honestly, like when I think of every single friend that I have, male friend that I have, like when we were younger, everyone, but I mean everyone wanted to be a professional athlete.
Yeah,
Soccer, basketball,
yeah,
fighting, baseball,
yeah.
whatever, professional athlete is like
Mm-hmm.
number one. And you
Mm-hmm.
achieved that, which is really fucking crazy. If I might add, you fought in Bellator, PFL, Contender series, crazy. If I might ask you
Mm-hmm.
a follow-up question, how does it differ, all those, let's say, Bellator, PFL from Contender Series? How do they all differ, in your opinion?
Um, I honestly, man, I don't think they do all that much. Like, obviously, there's like different production quality and stuff like that, but I think once you're at the highest level, it's pretty consistent, man. Like you watch top guys in PFL or Bellator or UFC, I think they're like some of the best athletes in the world. So I would say it's fairly consistent across the board.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think, in your opinion? There's many different leagues. Like, let's say it's not just the NHL. There's many different pro leagues in North America.
Hmm.
Why do you think that's
In
the
fight,
case, in your opinion? Yeah.
um, the sport is very weird, man. It's way less organized, I guess you could say, than other sports. Like, if you're a hockey player in Canada, you play like the youth leagues growing up, and then you play in like the OHL or the QMJHL or whatever it is, and then you get drafted from there and you go into the NHL. And there's like a pretty clear-cut way to do it, and it's just not the same with fighting at all. Um, like you fight amateur on whichever promotion will give you an amateur fight, and then you fight pro wherever you can get pro fights, and you travel around. Like I fought a lot of my fights in the States, a few in Canada. Guys fight all over the place. Um, it's hard to get opponents. Like there's no clear way to get to the top, and then if you're lucky, you get a call for like Contender Series or something, which they say is like tryouts for the UFC, which is kind of weird too. You have to have a manager who needs to know people. It's so like muddy how all this stuff works in MMA, and it's a lot different than other sports.
Yeah. Do you think there's a lot of luck into going into the UFC? Because I've had recently Mirsad Bektic on my podcast. He was a UFC fighter, and he
Hmm.
kept saying, like, I was so lucky in my life. Then, of course, with work preparation is when luck. That's what luck is, right? Preparation meets
Hmm.
opportunity. But he used to say constantly, yeah, but still, I was so lucky because it just so happened that my agent was having dinner with Dana White. And Dana White
No
told
way.
him, I'm missing a guy for this fight. I need a lightweight, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, yeah, I have a guy. So how important do you think luck is into getting into the UFC?
I think it's important, man. Again, the sport is different. There's no clear way to get there, and I think luck is a big part of it. Even in terms of like the sport is very rough, right? And you need to
Mm-hmm.
train hard, and a lot of guys get hurt. Like the point of this sport is to hurt other people, so it makes sense that guys get hurt, and it happens a lot in the gym too. So I mean, you need to be lucky enough that you're able to train very hard year round and not get injured. And a lot of guys do get injured, and a lot of guys don't have the career that they wanted to have because they got injured. So I think that's a big part of it too. Um, I would probably for other sports too. I mean, I don't know that much about like being a hockey player or anything, but I'm sure there's some luck involved there too.
Yeah, probably, but I'm pretty sure, like, I can say this fairly and with confidence. I'm pretty sure your sport is like the most fucked up sport there is. Like, okay, yes, hockey, you know what? It's on skates, it's in the ice. You can push around, you can even fight if you want. Let's say soccer, American football. But you guys literally go there and you want to like choke him out. You want to knock him out. You want to win the fight. That's really crazy, man. You have to be built different. From all the guys
Yeah.
I interviewed on my podcast, they all tell me like you have to be different up there.
Yeah. Yeah, like I just said, man, a lot of guys get injured. Like the point of the sport is to hurt other people. So a lot of people get hurt. I'm actually dealing with like a shitty injury right now. So yeah, like I mean, I've had a good career, but right now I'm considering myself very unlucky for the shit that I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah, and it's stuff you can't really control, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what hey, it happens. This is the nature of the sport. When you won against Douglas Lima, what did that win mean to you personally and professionally?
Yeah, it's one of, if not the biggest wins in my career for sure. I remember like getting the call and getting the offer for that fight and thinking like this is crazy. I've been watching this guy forever. And not that he's that much older than me, but he's just been in the sport for so long. And like he doesn't exactly have the same name value as maybe some like UFC champs, but hardcore fans of MMA know who he is. He's been around forever. He was Bellator champ for a long time. He's beat some big names in the sport. So it was very crazy for me to even be offered this fight and like accept it and see the promotional stuff where they're showing his like highlight reel knockouts and I'm like, fuck, I gotta fight this guy. This is crazy. And then looking over across the cage, like the bell rings, and I see Douglas Lima there, man. It was crazy, but it was very cool. And yeah, like again, it's one of, if not the biggest wins of my career. So it's pretty cool.
No, I imagine, bro. That must have been like a pinch me moment, a I made it moment. I can only imagine. Honestly, that must have been really crazy. Like I imagine myself when I wanted to be a professional soccer player. Imagine if I entered the pitch and I'm playing with, let's say, Messi or whatever. That would
Yeah.
have been fucked up. So how do you transition? Like, okay, I've been watching this guy forever. I'm a fan. I respect the shit out of him, but now I have to go and compete against him and win.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I don't know, man. I don't think these questions are hard to answer. Like you
Oh,
ask other fighters that, I don't know if anyone's gonna have a good answer. Like I think it's just something that you have. Like I've been in so many fights at this point. It's just natural. Like you get in the cage and this is what you have to do. It's just a job that you have to do. I'll kind of compare it to this. Like the last guy I fought, Dalton Ross, that you see, he talks so much shit and
yeah.
like he tries to kind of get me to talk shit
Mhm.
back, and I'm like, I don't even care about this stuff, man. Like it's just when you're in the cage, you just fight. Like we're trying to beat each other up, we're trying to hurt each other, but it's just the sport. That's how it is. I don't care to talk shit to you, or if it's like Douglas Lima, like you're a legend and I respect you, but once we're in there, it's just the same thing no matter who it is. We're gonna beat the shit out of each other for 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And I watched that interview with Dalton Rosta. Like he was all like flamboyant. He had his chest
Hmm.
out, and he was trash talking a lot. And you were just really stoic. It's like you
Yeah.
didn't care. And even the guy, the middle guy, he was like, you don't even want to look him in the eye. You're like, well, it's a bit uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
So
It's so weird, man, because
I can imagine.
obviously it's fake because we don't know each other. There's no reason for him to actually hate me as much as he says that he does. And I know it's better for the promotion. Like they want to get these clips that they can post of us talking shit and make it seem like it's really like a grudge match or whatever. But like, yeah, man, I don't know this guy. I have no reason to hate him. I don't want to talk shit to him because it's just not who I am as a person. So, yeah, those things they get a little bit weird.
No, I can imagine because let's say with podcasting, that's like real. We say how it is, but I can imagine because if you're there and you're like, bro, I barely know you, and you're here like personally attacking me and talking shit, but it's all about business and whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're a guy who's like always keeping it real, you just want to fight, I understand where like the uncomfortable emotion can get
Yeah.
into. Like I can imagine.
It would be like me talking shit to you right now and
Yeah.
like saying a bunch of shit as if I hate you, and you'd be like, dude, I don't even know you. Like, what am I supposed to say?
No, imagine like right now if you'd be talking shit, I'd just be like, probably I'd shut the fuck up because I know you can fucking whoop my ass whenever
Yeah.
you want. But I'd just be
Yeah.
like, what did I do exactly? Like what happened?
Exactly. I don't know you. How can you possibly have these feelings for me?
So that was there. You fought against him twice, right? You won once,
Yep.
and then you lost in the
Mhm.
PFL semifinal
Mm-hmm.
against him. Can you talk to me about that road in the PFL tournament? What was it like? Was it the stakes higher? What was everything just like?
Um, honestly, man, like you get asked this question a lot too. Like, did the Douglas Lima fight feel different? Does semifinals feel different? Does Contender Series feel different? And maybe like the hype towards the fight does. Like, there's going to be more stuff on social media. Maybe you're going to have more interviews leading up to it. People want to talk about it more. But again, once you're in there, it doesn't really feel different. Like, you're not in the middle of a fight, like punching a guy in the face or getting punched in the face and thinking like, oh my God, this is the PFL semifinals right now, you know? Like, once you're in there, you're fighting.
Okay, so basically, whichever fight you had in your career, it was always the same process, the same thought process, the same training. It's another fight.
Exactly.
Just the difference for the fans is we see way more clips and way more like engagement on
Yeah.
social media. But on your side, it's just like, yo, it's another fight.
Yeah. And most of the stuff is for the fans, man. I mean, obviously there's like financial implications. Like, if you're going to be the champion of the promotion, you're going to get paid more money and you're probably going to have more media responsibility and stuff like that. But like all the lead up to the fight, like Dalton Rasta talking shit to me, it's not for us. Like
Mm-hmm.
it does nothing for us as fighters. It's for the fans. It's for the promotion. It's to get more people watching.
Yeah, I know, I understand it because I never would have. I mean, I'm not a fighter, so I never thought of that aspect. But now when you're explaining it, it makes a lot of sense. It's just another
Hmm.
payday. It's another fight day for you.
Exactly.
So my
And
follow up,
again, it
yeah,
it
go ahead.
does it feels like you can feel it when it's leading up to the fight. You can tell there's more promotion. You can tell with more fans. Like nowadays, like you can see the views on your Instagram videos, right? So you know like if there's more people interested in this. But yeah, again, like once you're there and the bell rings and everything, you're not thinking about Instagram views or PFL semifinals or anything. You're just fighting.
Yeah, exactly. So follow up question: what's something you wish that fans knew about professional fighters and professional fighting in general?
Um, Good question again. Maybe just that we're all like actually real people, and this probably goes for any sport too. Like, you could say the same for like a hockey player or whatever. Like, someone fucks up in a big game or someone fucks up in a fight and they lose. You get people messaging you on social media saying like the craziest shit, bro. Like you're the scum of the earth because you lost this fight. They're talking so
What
much
the
shit to
actual?
you.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're a fucking loser. You need to retire from this sport. Like you have no business. Like just crazy stuff. And it's like this is like a human being that you don't know that you're saying this stuff to. It's like it's crazy.
Oh, that's really crazy. I mean, some people can argue that it comes with a territory when you're a professional, but at the same time, it's like who takes the time to write that to a just a normal person?
Exactly.
Of course, he's a
Yeah.
professional fighter. You saw him on the television and whatever. You know him, but he doesn't know you,
Yeah.
right? So, but I find it really weird that some people message you, like maybe because they had a bet and they're fucking pissed that I don't
There's a lot of
know.
that for sure. Yeah, that's probably like 90% of those people. It's because they lost a big bet. But yeah, like we're all like regular people. Like we have families and friends and children and whatever. So I think a lot of people when they're just watching you on the TV, they don't recognize that.
Yeah, they think it's fiction and not reality, or in some way
Exactly.
it's weird.
Yeah.
What's the most craziest thing someone wrote to you?
Um, I can read it to you. I have one
Really? Yeah, if you
message
don't
saved
mind.
because it's extremely vulgar if you don't mind that on your
No, no, of course.
podcast.
No, I don't care. We can say
I'm
fuck. You can
gonna
say whatever you want.
Yeah, okay, dude, it's wild. It's pretty long too. This is it. You fucking suck donkey dick, faggot. Fuck, just sniff dick for 15 minutes straight. You fucking bum. No wonder you're in Bellator. Your ass. You waste your everyday life training because you absolutely suck dick, faggot bitch. You sniff dick for 15 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yo, that guy needs Jesus, man. What the actual
Yeah.
fuck did I just hear, man?
Yeah, and I messaged him back and I said like, "Yo, bro, that's brutal." And he read my message and didn't reply.
Damn, bro, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
even me personally, like, when I talk shit against Ronaldo or whatever, sometimes I get messages and I'm like, do people really take it that personally? I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, if I would see someone on social media trash talk something I love or something I stand for, I wouldn't really give a fuck. I'm like, yeah, he can say whatever he wants. I don't really care, to be honest. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna listen to his point. If I don't like it, I'm gonna skip it. I'm not gonna pay attention. But to go as far as to write a message, especially
Yeah.
to you, like, that's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
A long message too.
Yeah, really long. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I didn't see
Yeah.
it, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of grammatical error.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
not.
yeah. So there's a lot of typos, yeah.
Of course, it comes with everything. Do you let that affect you, or you don't really care?
Um, no, not really. I mean, something like that. It's fucking funny because it's like so stupid,
Crazy.
right? Like that stuff's funny. Some people like genuinely come up with like some good like mean stuff that's gonna like cut you deep, but like yeah, like you said earlier, like it comes with the territory, right? You got to expect this stuff. You want to like put yourself out there and be on TV and have Instagram followers. You got to expect some people are gonna not like you.
Of course, when you put yourself out in the public eye, you have to be ready for public criticism.
Exactly.
Like, I remember, I think once someone, what did I write? Like, I put a clip, and someone wrote in a comment like, "Oh, I know this guy. He's streaming from a mental hospital right now. He's
Oh my
live
God.
streaming." But
Yeah.
sometimes people always ask me, because ever since I started my podcast, I get a lot of hate comments, whatever. They're like, "Does that affect you?" I'm like, in the beginning when I started, I thought it would, but now
Mm-hmm.
when it actually happens and when you see how powerless it is, it's like you
Mm-hmm.
don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sometimes I love when they write funny stuff because it just cracks me up. Like that
Yeah.
comment that just cracked me up. I'm like, that's actually a really good comment.
Yeah, and for you, if people are like commenting on your videos talking shit, it's probably a good thing, right? Because it's just more engagement on your posts. It's just gonna like drive more traffic to your post, right? So I mean, for you, like trying to get more followers to the podcast, it's probably a good thing. The more people that talk shit.
Of course, and always how I always saw it ever since I'm young. My dad always used to say, you should not fear having haters. You should fear not having haters, because the more haters you have, the better off you're doing in life.
For sure.
So, getting back to your professional career, what would you say was your highest high in your career?
The Douglas Lima fight is definitely up there. I think my two first Bellator fights were big. The first one was cool because it was like my first fight in a big promotion, and I got a cool TKO, and my whole family was there, so it was like a very sick night for me. And then my second fight, that was a short notice fight against Vanderford. That one was a big one too. Like he was ranked very highly. I was a big underdog, and I went and won that fight too. So, those three fights are all up there: the Lima fight, the Vanderford fight, and my Bellator debut.
Sick, man, sick. What was your debut like? The nerves, everything, emotions.
Um, Again, like it does feel different leading up, like going from fighting on a regional show to Bellator. Obviously, there's more media, there's more Instagram stuff, like you get more followers on Instagram, whatever. You can feel that it's like the big leagues. But then again, once you're like in the cage and you're fighting, it all kind of feels the same.
Yeah. So, would you say that you had the like I made it moment, or you didn't really have one?
Um, I don't know. Like I didn't get signed to Bellator till I was like 29. I've been doing it for so long. I think I had like 15 professional fights. So like I had quite a bit of experience before I got there. I was on Contender Series twice. I fought for like regional belts three times. Um, so maybe I was like a little bit more experienced than some guys that get there. So again, it felt different, but I don't think it was like mind blowing or anything.
Yeah, yeah. So probably like gradually just getting to where you
Hmm.
are. Yeah. So
Exactly.
talking about your highest high, what would you say was your lowest low in your career?
Probably my second loss on Contender Series. Um, Felt like I was there once, I lost. I was pretty young in my career, and it felt like it's okay. I still have a lot of time to right this wrong. And then the second one, I worked my way back there. Like it was a long road. I think it was 2 years. I had four fights. I think I had four finishes even in between the two Contender Series fights. and a lot of hype behind it, and it felt like this was my moment, and it was like redemption. And then I lost again. I was 29, 28, 29 years old. And it was like it felt like my last shot. I was like, fuck, that was it. That was like my opportunity to finally do something with the sport. And I lost it again. So I was kind of like lost. I didn't know what I was gonna do next.
Of course, I can imagine. So, in your opinion, what do you think is the best way to bounce back after a loss?
The only thing that I knew how to do was just get back in the gym and keep training and wait for the next fight. Like the same thing you do after a win. You take a little bit of time to kind of celebrate, or I guess if it's a loss, you grieve or whatever. You eat some shitty food, you hang out for a week, maybe drink some beers, and then you just get back into the gym and wait for the next fight. Like if you're a professional athlete or a professional fighter, that's what you do. You train and then you fight. So that's what I did.
You got to keep a really stoic mindset, cold mindset.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah, crazy sport. So, out of all your fights, which fight do you think you learned the most?
Hmm. Learned the most. My last fight, I said this after my last fight, it was like very bittersweet. Like I lost and it was a big opportunity. And it would have been huge for me to go to the finals. So it was like so shitty that I lost, but it was it was probably the first time that I like really felt like fully myself in the cage. I felt like very free and I was having fun and I was like doing what I wanted to do, which it's hard as a fight. Like there's a lot of pressure on you all the time, and you can kind of freeze up. You become tense. You don't fight exactly how you want to fight. And in my last fight was like the first time that I felt like very free in there. So that was cool.
Yeah, I know that fight against Dalton Rosta, and I saw at
Hmm.
the end you spoke with him a lot, right? Would you mind
Hmm.
saying what you told him, what you guys were talking about?
Yeah, it's been a while, so I don't know. I don't remember like exactly perfectly how it went, but I just tried to like shake his hand and be like, good shit, man. Like, good fight. Like, fuck all that stuff before. It's whatever. Like, good fight. And he, like, I think he kind of tried to talk shit again. Um, and then, like, the very last thing we said to each other, I think it was after the decision they announced he was the winner. And again, I went over, I shook his hand, and I was like, good fucking fight, bro. And he he started crying about the last fight and telling me about how he was injured. I was so fucked up. I just wanted to get it back. And I said, don't cry, you fucking pussy. And that was the last thing I said to him.
Well, that's those are good final words.
Yeah, I think
Don't
so.
cry, you fucking pussy.
Yeah.
But I always found it weird, especially in your sport, when people trash talk so much because there has to be such big level of respect because it's a
Hmm.
crazy sport and guys are going there to hurt each other. But then they
Hmm.
like flip a switch to just like get more money and more pay per view and more views and
Yeah.
whatever. So I always found that like really not weird, but just special. If I can put it like
Yeah,
that.
it's the way the sport is now, man. Like since McGregor,
Yeah.
everyone realized like the more shit you talk, like the more spotlight that's on you. You hype fights, you sell more tickets. It's good for your career, right? So I don't blame guys for doing it. Like I don't have that skill, I guess. Like it's kind of a skill
Yeah.
to be able to talk like that, and I don't think I'm very good at it, but yeah, like all the power to them for guys that can do that really well. It works.
So do you think that all of that comes from McGregor? Maybe even Muhammad Ali, even earlier, he was really good at that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say that like McGregor probably like popularized it more. Like he changed the sport completely, but even like Chael Sonnen, right? Like Chael
Yeah.
Sonnen was doing this. Um yeah, there's like Ali, there's been guys who have done this to hype up fights, but yeah, I think when McGregor came around, like things changed.
Yeah. And of course, MMA being such a physical sport, but I feel like some people forget that how mental it can be. In your opinion, do you
Hmm.
think MMA is more of a mental game or a physical game?
Have you ever seen that Chael Sonnen clip where he's talking about it being mental versus physical?
No, I never saw it.
I'm gonna have to send it to you after it's good. Because yeah, people say that all the time, like it's more mental than physical, but like basically what he says, he's like you can't imagine yourself going on a 10-mile run and like get in better shape like that. Like you have to get in the gym and work. You have to get in the gym and beat the shit out of your training partners. Like it's not mental, it's physical. Like it's extremely physical. Everything we do is like with our bodies. It's going in the gym, it's working hard. You need to eat properly, you need to sleep properly. Like it's all physical. Is there a mental side to it? For sure. You can freeze up and you can choke and whatever, but like 99% of what we do is physical.
Really? Okay. So
Hmm.
okay, really? Because I would have thought some people would say that it's more mental, but I guess, do you think that maybe it varies from fighter to fighter, or do you think Chael Sonnen was spot on?
I don't like if you say it's more mental than physical, it means like if you're like you yourself, I don't know how much you've trained before. Have you trained in MMA?
MMA, very little, like with my brother
Okay,
and here
so
and there. Yeah.
a
MMA, very
very
little.
little amount, but
Yeah.
like if you are the most confident man in the world and you're so confident in your skill set, could you go in there and beat like a trained fighter? Probably not, because he is like physically
Uh,
more skilled and more athletic, maybe, and stronger and whatever, right? Obviously, if you have two guys that are like equally matched physically, maybe the guy with the better mental skill set will win. But again, I think it's a very large part is physical versus mental.
yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Appreciate it. So if you could go back in time and change one thing about your career, professional career, what would it be?
That's hard, man. It's hard to look back on your life and say you want to change something and make it different, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I'll just go back like a couple months and not get the big haircut that I got because my hair is not as long and nice as it used to be.
You don't have the mullet anymore?
I have it. It's just much less than what it used to be.
Yeah, I remember. Like I
We're
saw videos and
oh
photos. You have like
yeah.
a really sick ass,
Oh
big
yeah.
ass mullet, man.
We're in a rebuilding phase right now.
You're gonna rebrand your identity.
Yeah.
How did you get the idea to get the big mullet? Like it's a really big mullet you had when you were fighting.
Yeah. It started as a small one, just as like a joke pretty much. And then I had a couple fights and like the commentary was like talking about my hair so much and I was like, oh wow, like I guess that's something interesting for fans and commentary to talk about. So I guess I'm gonna keep it. So I kept growing it, and then it was like huge and crazy, and it was like became my thing kind of. And then I was like, well, I have to keep it now. Like it's like my Bellator debut. I can't remember what they called it, the maple leaf mullet or something. So I'm like, at that point, you can't cut it, right?
Yeah, of course. Like you created your identity a little bit with that.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you said in the beginning it was like a joke. What do you mean by that?
Um, like it was literally just I thought it was gonna be funny to like cut
Okay.
my hair and do a mullet and like go to the gym and like laugh with the guys for a little bit. Maybe fight one fight with it, and then I could laugh about that. Oh, this is the fight that I had the mullet. That was like silly. And again, the commentary was just talking about it a lot, and then I was like, I guess I'll keep it for a bit. And then before you know it, like 4 or 5 years goes by, and I've got this like giant mullet.
Sick, man. I love it actually. So for all amateur fighters right now, or even young pro fighters, if you give them one piece of advice, what would it be?
You got to find a good gym with coaches that you trust and teammates that you trust, and you gotta like commit to it and work hard. You gotta, if you want to be like professional, if you want to be one of the best in the world, or like you have big aspirations, you have to commit to it and probably like put some other things aside. Like maybe you like to go out on the weekends, you got to put that shit aside. Maybe you like to eat like pizza too much and you're overweight, you got to put that aside. You got to really commit to it and work hard and make that your priority.
Perfect. So now I want to talk a little bit about fitness and nutrition. I know you're really big into both. Like I said in the beginning, I don't think we were recording, but you're in crazy shape. For people who don't know, you can just go on your Instagram and you're shredded. Like you probably don't even have body fat on you, but it's crazy, man.
Thank
Honestly.
you, bro.
So, like, what does your training look like in camp? Let's start with in camp, MMA training, and do you lift weights?
Um, I never like in my career, like as part of fight camp, never lifted weights. I do a little bit right now. Like I said, I have this injury going on right now, so I'm like a little bit limited with my training. So I've been lifting more lately, but no, probably 90% of my career, I never really lift weights unless it's like kind of like fucking around. I'm on the road, like I don't have a MMA gym to train at. I'm in a hotel or whatever. I'll like screw around with the weights, but never been like part of my training schedule or fight camp or anything. And as far as like in camp and out of camp goes, I'm pretty consistent, man. Like I'm in the gym, I don't know, like between 8 and 12 times a week, maybe, like pretty much year round. Have a
So
little like
twice a day, basically, almost.
uh yeah, like twice a day,
Jesus, man. Yeah.
4 times a week, maybe for the most part. And again, like I have a vacation. I had Christmas vacation, or after a fight, you take a week or two off or whatever. Um, but yeah, I don't change my schedule a whole lot on like in camp versus out of camp. I train year round. The only thing I would do in camp is things would get like more specific, right? So out of camp, I'm just training to be well-rounded. I do my jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing, whatever. And then say I'm fighting like Douglas Lima, he's a guy that like breaks people's legs with calf kicks. I'm like, okay, the focus of this camp is like, let's not get kicked in the calf. So that will become like a big part of my training, right? Or my first fight in the PFL, fighting like a Dagestani wrestler. Big part of training camp is going to be takedown defense. So same amount of training roughly year round, just like a different focus on
Adjustments here
skills.
and there.
Exactly.
Okay, so you pretty much year round, you're not like Patty Pimblett, right? You're not
I'm
like.
not like Patty Bumblett.
So
No.
you always keep it like in general the same, and then when you have a specific fight, like you just explained, you
Yeah.
adjust certain adjustments. Okay,
Yeah.
and what about your diet?
Also pretty consistent. Probably clean it up a little bit more as it gets closer to the fight. Like maybe my weight will fluctuate a bit more. Again, I'm pretty consistent with that too. Like I don't like, I'm not like Patty Pimblett whose weight fluctuates by like 50 pounds or whatever during the year. But maybe if I know I'm not fighting for like 3 months, I'll go out for pizza sometimes and my weight will creep up a little bit. You wouldn't do that stuff like if I'm 2 or 3 weeks out from a fight. I'm obviously not going to get pizza and letting my weight creep up. I'll just kind of keep it locked in a little bit more.
Yeah, and as a nutritionist, what Patty does is that unhealthy to fluctuate that fast?
Probably. I mean, he's done it so many times though. Like that's like his routine. He knows he can, right? Like he's done it I don't know how many times. Like this is normal for him to gain all the weight and then lose it. And he seems like he doesn't even struggle with it. I don't even know. Doesn't look like his weight cuts are really that bad. Like he's on the scale, he looks fine, right? So he's a guy that knows he can do it. I wouldn't recommend you try and figure out if you can do that. I would say let's just avoid that if you can. But yeah, there's some guys that do that. Zach Powell, like
Yeah,
he was a little bit like that too. He would like blow up really big in between fights, but then he would always make weight too. So it's hard to argue with results, right?
yeah, exactly. So let's say in a day, what do you eat in a day in general? What would it look like? Do you do intermittent fasting also, if I might add?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't do any fasting at all, bro. I eat all the time. Um, when I'm training, I'd say like 4 meals a day. I have breakfast before the gym. I have lunch. Then I'll have a snack in the afternoon before the gym, and then I'll have dinner. It's simple, man. Like people think I'm on like a crazy diet. I don't even know what that means to people, but like they see my food and it's like normal stuff, right? I'm not eating like fucking
Superfoods or
like
whatever.
yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
not eating like algae and spirulina and like whatever crazy stuff there is. It's like I'm eating eggs and meat and fish and lots of fruit and vegetables and oatmeal and bread and like yogurt and cheese, like just normal stuff.
You're eating like I see your stories often. You post a lot what you eat, and it's always like vegetables with fruit, meat, eggs
Hmm.
with toast, and black.
Hmm.
You always drink dark coffee, right?
Yeah, when I'm at home, I drink my coffee black. I can like make it how I want it, how I like it. So I'll drink it black. If I'm going out, if I'm at like Starbucks or something, I'll add like a little bit of milk or cream.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts on intermittent fasting?
Um, I think it can be a good way to, if you need to like cut back on your calories. I think it's like a strategy that helps people cut back on calories if they need to. As a professional athlete who's training once or twice a day, I don't think it's a great idea to go long periods of time without eating or to go into the gym fasted. I don't think that's a good idea. But for someone who's not a professional athlete who wants to lose a bit of weight or just like control their calories, I think it's like a strategy you can use.
Yeah. Do you think intermittent fasting nowadays is a bit overhyped with social media?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
definitely. I think it's like a trendy thing. I don't think there's anything like life changing about it. I don't think it
Okay.
has like any benefits other than like reducing calories if you need to. So yeah, I think it's like a trendy thing.
Really? Because I see on social media like so many people talking about like this cures you from cancer. It can regenerate your cells. Like you hear all these type of
Yeah.
things, but then I'm like, but all the professional athletes I talk to, they're all like, no, no, I don't do intermittent fasting.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're training hard and we need like calories and energy in our body, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man, people they take like little bits of like science information and they extrapolate it and they turn it into something it's not, and then like Liver King says it or Andrew Huberman says it, and then everyone picks up on it, and it goes from like a small science-based idea to like this big thing that it's not. And obviously that's very common with like health and fitness shit, right? There's new trends every year.
Especially with social media, everyone's an expert
Yeah,
now, right?
dude.
It's like Liver King,
Exactly.
like he always used to say that he was natural, but then like everyone basically knew that he wasn't, but then he got like everyone realized that he wasn't natural. But imagine all the people who like followed his diet, which is like,
Mm-hmm.
if I might say from my personal experience, is a really fucked up diet. Like it doesn't make any sense. The shit
Crazy,
he
bro.
was eating, like it was just
Crazy.
fucked up. But since
Yeah.
like he had such a big following and he had this crazy body, then people were like, well, if he has 4 million followers, then what he says must be true, right? So let me follow this
Mm-hmm.
fucked up diet.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
that's
and
all
he's
everything with social media.
he's jacked and shredded because he eats liver. So if I eat liver, maybe I'm gonna look like him too. But the reality is he was taking like how many fucking substances, right? And like
Crazy.
how many needles a day this guy was taking to look like that,
Yeah.
and convincing people like just eat like liver and you'll look like this too.
It's just crazy, man, how people go to like fucked up extents to just like do some shit, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So do you track your macros and calories?
Yeah, I do. I track every day. I don't have like goals, like targets. I'm not like trying to hit this many calories and this much protein. I just eat similar foods every day and I kind of eat until I'm full and I track it just to see where I'm at, but I'm not like following like a rigid like structure.
Okay, you know in general what's healthy, what isn't, and you stick to the basics, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like
Again,
that's
like
the most
my diet's
important.
simple. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like people, when they overcomplicate shit, when something is really simple, like eating healthy, being healthy, staying in shape, especially if you're not a professional athlete, like so many people, they want to train like professional athletes, but I'm like, what's the point? You're not a professional athlete. Like, you're just going to be wasting time.
Exactly.
Like, keep it simple.
Exactly.
Go on walks, do push ups, whatever.
Yeah.
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 People
And not
sometimes,
sustainable too, right? You got a full-time job, you work 9 to 5, you got two kids and responsibilities and stuff. Like, don't be trying to be in the gym for 4 hours a day, 6 days a week, and intermittent fasting and drinking spirulina and like whatever, eating like liver every night for dinner. Like it's just not sustainable.
exactly. Like, and you always got to think about the long term and about being consistent because that's what matters the
Exactly.
most. Some people,
Exactly,
like I know
bro.
some people when they want to lose weight, they come and see me. They're like, okay, I saw this like bodybuilder do this week in, week out. So I'm going to start doing this. I'm like, broski, you don't want to be a bodybuilder. You just want to
Yeah.
lose some fat. Keep it
Yeah.
simple. Go to the gym 45 minutes, eat healthier. Instead of eating McDonald's every single day, maybe once a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So do you consume alcohol?
I do, not very often. Maybe like 5, 6 times a year
Okay. After very
after
rare.
fights or at Christmas time or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't really like the taste of it?
Um, I don't like the taste of it. I don't like being hungover, and I'm like not very good with moderation. So usually when I drink quite a bit, and then I feel like shit for a few days. So I like to drink and have fun once in a while. I think it is a good time, but yeah, I just get nasty hangovers and don't like to deal with that.
Yeah, that's the worst fucking thing. And sometimes I remember, like, first of all, I hate the taste of alcohol, but if I want to have fun with friends, then of course I'm going to drink. And sometimes I would work the following morning at like 9. I would fall asleep at like 4. Then I would go to work at like 8, hungover, regretting
Oh,
all my
horrible.
decisions. And plus, I
Hmm.
sell cars. So we go on test drives. Bro, some people can't fucking drive. You know what I mean? So I'm just sitting in the back. He's driving, hitting every single pothole that
Oh
exists
yeah.
on the road.
You're
And plus,
you're about to puke.
bro, you've been in Gatineau. You know how the roads are shit
Oh,
here,
dude,
bro.
it's horrible.
terrible. And then they can't drive. They're asking me all these fucking stupid questions. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man.
That's when you
Hangover
regret your
makes everything
decisions.
worse.
Everything, man. It's crazy.
I
Man.
drank twice at Christmas. My whole family was home, and I drank 2 nights, and I got pretty drunk, and I felt like I didn't recover for like 10 days, bro.
But that's the thing, because when you're drunk and the following morning, if you don't want to be hangover, keep drinking.
Exactly.
You're not gonna be hangover, but short term. After that, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You
delay the hangover, and then it's worse.
It compounds. It's just worse.
Yeah.
So you fight at 185, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your walk around weight?
Usually around 205.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, man. There's no body fat there, man. Jesus Christ. What's your height? 6'2"?
Yeah.
6'2". Okay, 6'2", 205. I'm like my brother. You saw him. I'm maybe a bit taller than him, and I'm 180.
Mm-hmm.
So what would be my fight weight if I was to fight?
That's a good question. You'd be like kind of an in-betweener, because maybe you'd be a little bit small for 170, because a lot of those guys are probably 190, 195, but you'd be a huge cut down to 155, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, could you imagine getting down to 155 from where you're at now? Because you're pretty lean and lanky already too, right?
Yeah.
So, if there was a 165 weight class, that'd probably be perfect for you.
Yeah, because I remember I asked him because I was just curious. So in general, you're looking to cut around 20 pounds, right? If you walk at 205, you're fighting at 185?
Depends. I mean, for someone in my weight class, yeah, maybe, but for like someone who fights at 125, maybe you don't want to cut quite as much because you're a lot smaller, right? It's a bigger percentage of your body weight. I think the guideline is like maybe 15% of your weight class.
Okay. Okay. And do you think that differs from people? Like some people feel better cutting less, some people feel better cutting more. Like, do you think that differs?
For sure, yeah. Some guys cut a ton of weight and they're like feeling okay. Like RDR comes to mind, DeRitter in the UFC. Like he's in my weight class. He's fucking giant, bro.
Really?
He's
Yeah.
like huge. Yeah, it's crazy that he makes the weight, but he does it every time. And then there's me. I'm like one of the smaller guys in the weight class at 205. Like most guys are 210, 215. Yeah, everyone's different.
Or like Alex Pereira, man, how he gets down to the fight, where he's huge,
Crazy, bro.
Pereira, man. He's huge.
So big.
Like when you see him against Israel Adesanya, like you see the difference of he's just bigger in
Oh,
every
I guess
way.
he's like 240 sometimes now.
When he walks
And
around,
yeah.
Jesus, man,
And used to fight at 185, bro. It's crazy.
that's fucked up, man. So now I want to switch a bit to philosophy, beliefs, and everything that has to do with that. So I don't know, I stalked you a lot because I always stalk all my guests so I can get the most information. Are you religious?
No.
Not really. Are you maybe spiritual in any way?
I guess so. Yeah, I like to read about that kind of stuff and think those thoughts, I guess, but I wouldn't say I have like a definitive religion or spirituality or anything that I follow.
If you don't mind sharing maybe like your philosophy, some people, they're more into religion, some people are more into karma, into spirituality, into soul. So do you have like something, a philosophy you live by, you would say?
It's a big question. This could be a
it's
whole podcast by itself. I got into like reading about Buddhism a lot lately, and I liked a lot of that stuff. I don't know, like, is basic and like kind of boring of an answer as this might be, like mindfulness and like trying to be present in the moment and not dwelling on the past and not stressing about the future all the time, like to actually live your life while you're living your life, I think that's an important thing. And I think being a good person is important regardless of religion or spirituality or whatever. I think that is something that I try to live my life by. So that too, I would say.
Love it. Perfect. It's a good answer, man. Beautiful answer. So what do you think, in your opinion, makes someone have a winner mentality? What does it take to have the killer mentality like MJ, like Kobe, like yourself, like whoever?
I think everyone's different, man. I think a lot of guys have different reasons. Like some guys, maybe it's like I need to put food on the table for my family, like maybe if like Jose Aldo, I don't know if this is his like case specifically, but like he was raised in like the ghettos in Brazil and like had a a very poor upbringing, and now he's like making money to like feed his children. Like maybe that's his thing. Um, I don't know, maybe someone like Sean Strickland who had like an abusive family, his thing is like he's kind of angry and he likes to beat people up because he's angry. I think everyone has a different reason. For me, it was more like just I just wanted to be like an athlete and I wanted to it wasn't even for me like about like beating people up. It was like being a better athlete than someone. So that was my thing. So I think everyone has different reasons.
Yeah, this is one question I always ask all fighters is, can you fight angry?
Hmm.
And I guess it depends from fighters.
Depends for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you mentioned Sean Strickland, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, and you knew he like said it on many podcasts with like Theo Vaughn that he gets the urge like every single day that he literally wants to kill a guy. Like he gets that urge.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
of
It's
course, with everything
crazy.
that happened in the past, like he was really open about it on the Theo Vaughn's podcast.
Hmm.
And so I guess it really depends from people to people, fighter to fighter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I think someone told me you're really close with Sean Strickland, right?
I wouldn't say we're like really close. When I'm in Vegas, I'll like train with him every day while I'm there. We don't talk a whole lot if I'm not there. Like he called me a couple times in the past couple months or like a text here and there. Nothing crazy, but yeah, we're buddies.
Yeah. How did you guys meet? Like, how did that happen?
I just went to Vegas for a couple fight trips, like kind of randomly. I just decided like they call it the fight capital of the world. I want to go there and train. So I went there and met him and like we beat each other up a bunch and had fun and became like good training partners and friends and just have kind of stayed in touch since.
Yeah, and you guys are pretty much the same height and weight, so like
Yeah,
good
that's a
training
big part of
partner.
it too, right? We're in the same weight class. It's funny. I always say that about this sport. Like for a regular person, like you have 10 friends, there are probably 10 different size people, right?
Yeah.
Some could be 5'2", some could be like 6'4". One guy could be 150 pounds, one guy could be like 250 pounds. And then when you're in an MMA gym, like when I go down to Florida at Killcliff, all of my friends are 6 foot to 6'2", and they weigh 200 to 215 pounds. Like I have 10 friends and they're all the exact same size.
Well, you have to. That's the nature of the sport, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So, what would you say out of all definitions that exist? What is your definition of a successful life?
Damn, another big one, man.
Take your time.
Um, I don't know, a life that makes you happy, I guess. Again, it's like it's different for everyone. Some people want to have like huge house and tons of cars and like fancy shit, and that makes them like really happy, and their goal is like chasing money, and that's like cool if it's like fulfilling. Some people are good with having less. Maybe you want to have just like a very small home and you work like a more modest job because you want to travel the world and you spend tons of money on like traveling and trips. Um, I don't know, maybe you want to live in a cabin in the woods and like stay away from society as much as possible. So
Yeah,
I think it just needs to be like fulfilling for you, like whatever makes you happy, and it's going to be different for everyone. And there's going to be people that don't agree with it at all. It could even be your friends and your family. They don't agree with it, but I guess it just should make you happy.
yeah, exactly. Like for me, like from my personal experience, what fulfills me the most is when I do things I'm afraid to do. That's
Hmm.
like one thing that I like the adrenaline I get from it, and I feel like I'm a more evolved person after. I feel like I level up every single time. That's
Hmm.
what fulfills me the most. When I'm afraid of something rational, not like there's a fucking bear in the woods, let me go and fight
Yeah.
that bear,
Yeah, yeah.
but like some facing my fears that I know that I have to face, but I'm not facing them because I'm afraid. That's what fulfills me the most. So
Yeah.
what would you say fulfills you the most?
Yeah, that's a good thing. I'm gonna just build on that a little bit. I did a nutrition seminar at a gym a few weeks ago. And I fucking hate public speaking, dude. Like it's
Oh, bro.
such a big fear of mine since I was a
Hmm.
kid. And I woke up on the morning of this nutrition seminar to go like speak in a gym in front of like 20 people, and I was fucking terrified, man. I felt like it was fight day, like my heart was pounding. I woke up at like 6 a.m. I couldn't get back to sleep. And when it was done, man, I felt so good. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm happy I did that. Even though like before I would have canceled it even. I was like, if I had the opportunity to cancel this shit, I would. And then after I was so happy I did it. So I agree with that for sure.
That's something like,
Um,
yeah, go ahead. I won't cut you off.
oh, I was just gonna ask what the question was again.
And what fulfills you the most? Like I said, for me, it's
Okay.
facing my fears. That's what fulfills me the most by far.
Yeah. Um, I don't know, maybe like doing hard things, and it can be huge. Like, I mean, not that a nutrition seminar is huge, but it felt big, or getting in a cage fight, it's like a pretty big thing, or like something smaller, like just doing a fucking hard workout at the gym, or even like very small things. Like every day I go for like a few walks, and after this I'm gonna go for a decent walk, and it's 10 p.m. and it's cold outside and there's like a ton of snow on the ground, but I'll like put on some warm clothes and go for like a 20 or 30-minute walk, and it's not super hard, but it's kind of hard, and I'll feel
Mhm.
better after that.
Do you count your steps? Like, do you do 10,000 steps a day or some shit like that?
Yeah, I track by kilometers usually. I've been averaging like 7.5 kilometers a day walking.
Okay, okay,
I think
that's probably
I
like
think it's like
10,000 steps.
11,000.
11,
Yeah, I
okay.
think it's like 11. It
Yeah,
said, yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, and also like getting back to what you said, like public speaking, I've probably already heard this, but that's the number one fear for all human beings. It's
Yeah.
public speaking and then it's dying. That's how
Yeah.
crazy that is. Like if I
That's
can
crazy.
build off what you said, the first episode I ever did of a podcast, my brother had the idea to start a podcast. We did the first episode. I was so fucking stressed out.
Hmm.
The first
Hmm.
episode, Jesus fucking, yeah, I was sweating, like big
Yeah.
lights everywhere. And then you see the camera, you're like, it's just a normal camera, but in your mind, you're like, that represents the people somehow. I don't know.
Exactly.
And you're so stressed out. The first episode, I was sweating so hot. But when I finished that first episode, I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. I fucking love this
Yeah.
shit, man.
Yeah.
That gave me such
It's
like a power boost, man. I loved it.
and you're probably so much better at it now that you've done it a bunch of times, right?
Of course, yeah.
The fighting made me way more comfortable with that kind of shit too, like with like talking to strangers and whatever, and like doing interviews and stuff. Like you get in a cage and get in a fight and then get interviewed after and do that a bunch of times, like it becomes a lot easier.
Of course, and it's crazy how it evolves. Like before, I remember I was really shy, really everything, and then now, like I can talk with everyone easily. And like in my mind, I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to be this shy guy, but why am I not afraid right now? It's like
Hmm.
it's just your nerves get different. I guess like your genetic code changes. Like Jordan Peterson talked about this very often. Like when you face your fears, your genetic code literally changes, and there's like a
Hmm.
newer person of you, which I found really fucking interesting, really
You can
crazy.
tell when someone's comfortable too. Like this is a comfortable interview right now. We're just like having a conversation, right? But so many interviews I do with like MMA reporters that are like newer or whatever, and you can tell they're like so like frozen. They just ask you a question. It doesn't even sound like they listen to your reply, and then right away they're asking you the next question. And it's supposed to be like a 20-minute interview, and it's over in like 3 minutes because they just rushed through everything.
Yeah, well, probably because how I do is like I know what I want to talk about. I just have questions because I know what I want to touch bases on. But at the end of the day, it's a dialogue, it's a discussion.
Hmm.
Like the most important is to bounce off what you say. That's the most
Hmm.
important. I ask you a question because I want to know, let's say, nutrition, philosophy, training, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just me and you. Like, of course, there's cameras, but it's me and you. That's how I see
Hmm.
it. So
Exactly.
it's never been like I understand people in the beginning, of course, if you're more stressed out, then having more questions is like a safety net, right? Because
Yeah.
you're like, okay, well, if I ask this question, whatever he says, I'm not even gonna listen because I'm just stressed out right now.
Yeah.
So I guess that's like a type of mentality that you can have in the beginning. So talking about future goals and ambitions, now I want to go a little bit there. You're 33 years old now, which is really young. What is your biggest goal now? What's your biggest aspiration and what's your biggest dream?
Um, I just I've been thinking a lot about this stuff lately, like with this injury that I had, and it's made me like contemplate a lot of stuff, contemplate my career and like life as a whole. And I just want to live a fulfilling life, and this has made me like question what happens after fighting. Like this is not it's a young man's sport, right? Like I'm not going to be doing this shit when I'm 50 or 60 years old. So what
Mike
happens
Tyson,
then?
maybe.
Like yeah, like this is extremely fulfilling now and I love it, but like it has to come to an end at some point, right? So what do you do then? Like what will continue to make me happy and be a fulfilling life? So I'm contemplating that stuff a lot right now.
Do you have any ideas? Like maybe nutrition. I see you're really big into that.
Hmm.
Like a degree in it, right? Also, so
Yeah, my degree's in medical sciences. That's an undergrad.
okay.
Yeah, I thought about like going back to school, doing a master's. I do like doing that stuff. Like I have a lot of clients right now and I'm working on building my business I love it. I love training still. Like I'm still in the gym every day, like regardless of fight coming up or injuries or not. I want to be there every day. I think it's fun to hang out with the guys and roll around with the guys and that sort of shit. Like to do like nice stuff with my girlfriend and my family. So yeah, I'm sure this is gonna be like a I don't think you ever figure this out, right? You're not going to
Hmm.
find like the answer to what will make me happy in life. I think it's like a an ongoing process that will change throughout your life.
And you'll never get the answer to that question, no matter how much
E-
you, how long you live. You'll never.
Exactly.
That's why, like, I'm born religious. My parents, they were religious, and I'm really religious. And me, religion, how it's always been like all the questions that literally no one has answers to. God, Jesus, whatever. That's how I see
Yeah.
it. So whenever something bad happens in my life, as hard as it may be to sit down and say, okay, I understand that what's happening right now in my life, in my eyes, it can be bad, but God has a higher plan, a higher purpose for me. Maybe if right now I cannot see it with my limited brain, my limited vision, whatever, God has a higher purpose. Everything will make sense at the end. So that gives me personally peace of mind. That's how I
Hmm.
see religion. That's why I'm so religious. It's because
Hmm.
it brings me peace of
That's
mind.
great for
Especially,
sure.
I consider myself an ambitious guy. So, of course, when you have big dreams, whatever can happen, you can face a lot of failure. But to keep going after failure and failure, to keep going after shit gets hard and bad things happen, that's where I like grab Jesus and I'm like,
Hmm. Yeah,
be there
that's
for me,
great
brother.
for sure. That's great.
So now let's finish off with some rapid fire Q&A.
Okay.
Let's go. Favorite MMA fighter of all time?
Anderson Silva.
Really, why?
Uh, I don't know. I just like when I was first getting into the sport, it's when he was like doing all the like Matrix shit, and I
Yeah.
just thought it was so fucking cool.
Do you think he's the GOAT MMA fighter?
Um, it's like an impossible question to answer, but I think if you're looking at like the GOAT of like highlight reel finishes is him.
Okay, and if I can ask you the question, who's the GOAT? You can only choose one. GOAT MMA fighter. Doesn't have to be
Uh,
UFC, MMA.
yeah. I think like for actual skill set, I would say maybe like Mighty Mouse.
Demetrius Johnson. Yeah, so many Johnson. So many people
Yeah.
say him. He's so
Mm-hmm.
skillful, man. It's crazy. Do you think he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't get that much praise because he's not one of the big guys?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, just
Nobody
like in
liked to
boxing.
watch little guys really. Yeah.
Yeah, just like in boxing, like they all say, like to be a GOAT, you have to be the heavyweight. You have to be a
Yeah.
heavyweight. Yeah, so I guess
Yeah.
it's pretty much the same. Top
Mm-hmm.
five MMA fighters of all time. Don't have to be in order.
Demetrius Johnson, Anderson Silva, John Jones, GSP, Habib.
I would have put Aaron Jeffery, but hey, you can put Habib. Who would you say is the most underrated MMA fighter of all time?
Um, hmm. It's rapid fire. I'm not very rapid with this one.
Take your time, don't worry.
Um, like I have someone on the tip of my tongue that I have like talked about a lot for this. I don't know. Someone's gonna come to mind later. I know Nick Lentz has a crazy record with like a lot of big names on there. Um, he could be in that conversation. I don't know. That's why they're underrated, right? Like that's there's probably some guy that's like fought the who's who and you don't know who he is, and that's exactly the definition of being
Mhm.
underrated. Um,
Especially in a sport like MMA, where it's like I feel like right now it's getting bigger and bigger, but it's a new
yeah.
sport, right? It exists since when, like 1990 to early 2000s,
Hmm.
like so it's a really new sport if you look at the globality of all sports.
I'll put Michael Bisping in there too. I feel like
Okay,
he gets
really?
like shit talked a little bit.
Yeah,
He was a UFC champ, so it's like hard to say he was like really underrated, but like look at Bisping's record, it's fucking crazy.
really. He fought against. Did he win once against GSP? He did, right?
No, he lost against GSP.
Oh,
But
he only
even
fought
like he
once.
yeah,
Okay,
even like
okay.
he's taken losses, but like fuck man, he's fought crazy guys. He's fought GSP, he's fought Anderson Silva, like two of the goats.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got a crazy record, Bisping.
That's something I love about the UFC when I compare it to boxing. Boxing, you can have guys like Mayweather, one of the GOATs. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he was known for ducking some fights, waiting for Pacquiao to be out of his prime. Of course, the fight he won against Pacquiao, fair and square, he won. He won against Canelo. Canelo was like 23 years old. But Mayweather has been he was known for ducking fights, waiting till the situation is perfect for him and not really giving a fuck if the situation is good for the other guy. But I feel like in UFC, if Dana says you're fighting this guy, you're fighting that guy. That's what I fucking love. That's what I love. But in boxing, I mean, money is so big in boxing, and there's so many like different promotions, different leagues. You're like, what's happening? And
I don't understand.
Yeah, that's what I really love about MMA and UFC in general. Next question: what's your go-to cheat meal?
Pizza.
Pizza? Same, bro.
Yeah, I like pizza.
Dream vacation spot.
I don't like. I mean, I like traveling, but I don't like flying places that much and like being out of my routine and in a different time zone with like weird food and stuff like that. It's like not my thing. Like anywhere that I can drive to, like a nice long road trip, I think is sick. Like drive to like California, it takes you like a week to get there. I think that's fucking cool.
Yeah, that's nice. I remember once I drove from Ottawa to the southernmost point in Florida, so Key West.
Yeah.
That was like 25, 26 hours. But at the same time, you stop in every city, right? So you do like, let's say, Ottawa, you stop at New York, Washington, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Miami, and then, of course, Key West. So that I found really fucking sick.
How long did you do that in?
Oh, how many days in total?
Yeah.
1 week, maybe like 2-3 weeks. Yeah, 2-3 weeks maybe. Because let's say if I do New York,
sick,
like
bro.
If I do New York like 2-3 days, then you add 2-3 days. Washington probably 1 or 2 days because you just want to see like the White House and everything else.
Yeah.
Then did I stop at Atlanta? I think we stopped at Atlanta. Maybe we did. I'm not sure. It's been like 7 years ago. But then we went to Miami. I don't know if you've ever been to Miami. That's really fucking sick, man. I love Miami. Nice. And then Key West, of course, is really beautiful place.
Yep. Cool.
Next question. Where was I right now? Okay. Favorite movie.
Don't know if I really have one. I like the movie Big Daddy a lot with Adam Sandler.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Favorite musical artist?
Rancid.
Who?
Rancid, like a punk band.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not really big into punk. Are they good? Any good?
I like them a lot. Yeah.
Rancid? Yeah. Okay. I'll take a look at it. What do you like to do when you're not training, MMA or just in general?
Mostly just eating and sleeping because I'm pretty tired from training. But I'll say like road trips with my girlfriend. We've done like a few like big road trips, and again, I think that's sick.
Which road trip was your favorite?
Vegas. We drove to Vegas in 2021, and we stayed there for like 5 months. Yeah, it was cool, man.
Did you go down 95 interstate on the East Coast, or did you go somewhere else?
I don't know. What's like the really big highway that goes all through the States? Is it 95?
In my mind, I think it's 95. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. Because we took 95 to do the big road trip, but I'm pretty sure it connects to everywhere. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Dude, I can't remember what it's called. There's one like big, like very famous highway that goes like pretty much straight through the middle of the States, all the way from like coast to coast. I think you take that like most of the way, but you see a lot of shit on the way there.
Yeah, I imagine, bro. And if I can ask you one question, because I've been to Vegas once, and my thoughts on Vegas, bro, it's a fucked up city, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, honestly, it's crazy. So what are your thoughts when you were in Vegas, like, of the city, Vegas?
I like it a lot, but I wasn't there, like, partying or, like, I would go to the strip to walk around and hang out, but I was there for, like, 6 months, and I was just sober the whole time training and stuff, right? So, like, we went on hikes, like, in the mountains and shit and did a lot of that kind of stuff. And, yeah, I would go to the strip and walk around at night and, like, people watch, but I wasn't there to party, so like I probably got a different vibe of Vegas than if you go there for like a weekend on a boys trip or whatever.
Of course, because I remember when I went, I was 16 years old, and the reason I went with my dad was to watch Andrei Ward against Kovalev boxing at T-Mobile Arena. Really crazy. And side note, this summer, 2 years ago, when I was coming back in the airport, I was chilling, having a coffee, And I look to my left, I see Andrei Ward. I'm like, there's no way he's here right now. And that was fucking, like, I'm really, like, I was looking at him. I'm like, do I know this guy?
Yeah.
I approached him like, bro, are you SOG? He's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, damn, bro, I watched your fight. But Vegas, what I found, like, something that really happened, fucked up to me in Vegas is I was just waiting for a bus with my dad, a shuttle bus. And there's just this woman coming out of the casino. She comes to see us, doesn't say anything, just looks at us. And then she falls to the ground and has a seizure because of drugs and whatever. And I'm like 16 years old. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on there.
And plus Vegas being like a crazy city in the middle of nowhere. Like it's a desert, right? So I found that really, really cool.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool though. There's like this strip of like crazy buildings and lights and parties and like so much crazy shit. And there's nothing around it. It's like literally in the middle of the desert. It's cool.
And I think that's like the only place I know where you can smoke inside, where you can still smoke inside.
Yeah.
I found that really funny.
Man, it's weird there. It's cool.
Yeah, it's an experience to visit Las Vegas, man, really. Something. Okay, so last question. If you could leave one last message to everyone watching this podcast, what would it be? Anything. Personal, fighting, anything.
Hard work.
Hard work.
Yeah.
That's the most important.
That's the key in life. Hard work.
It is. Aaron Jeffery, thanks a lot for coming on my podcast, man. I appreciate it a lot. Had lots of fun. Wish you all the best, man. That was it for today.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, man.
That was sick, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care, man.